Sit down, take a two or two, money till we get it. Ball, let that cool was ain't talking. Money speak, all that bullshit, keep it. Run the side, run.
No one let me know about it. I'll tell you that much. No one let me. I'm just now finding this out.
Yeah, I mean, it's we're just slowly inching towards just cable again.
Yeah, we got more. It's more expensive now.
Honestly, with all the different services, yeah.
Amazon just tricks me. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, oh, I got Amazon Prime, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's only $2 for a TV show, and I'm like, how did I spend $14 on TV this month? You know?
Because it's like $2 a show.
And they got my ass. Yeah, they play me.
Yeah.
I'm a rube. I'm a born rube. People look at me and they can tell I'm a rube. I look like a guy that would buy Magic Beans. I know it. I do. I look like that because that's the type of guy I am. I'm a Magic Bean buyer.
Yeah.
Qualified lead. Yeah.
Oh man. When did you first get into like Netflix and like streaming? Like what year?
So I'm an old head, baby. I was on Hulu back when it was like there'd be like 2 commercials, and you could just do that trick where you drag it all the way to the end, and it would play 1 commercial, and you could start it over and watch it for free. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it was great. What is that? Probably like 2007, 2008, maybe. Is that around? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, because I first heard about Hulu around like 2010, and a lot of it was like they had like a free version of it, but it was only just like clips of the shows they had.
It was free when I was watching it. I remember watching it because Arrested Development was on Hulu, and I could watch all of Arrested Development. I just had to watch commercials, but I did that trick, baby, where I just put it all the way to the end and it would skip all the commercials. It was great.
Yeah. So for me, it was around like 2011, 2012 when my brother and I chipped in to get Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And that was back in the day when like they had just started doing their original programming, like House of Cards, Orange is the New Black, and I think that was really it. Maybe like I remember when the Arrested Development reboot they did.
Oh yeah.
But everything else, it was like King of the Hill, like any like Cartoon Network show you could think of. Like,
you remember Blockbuster Online? You ever fuck with that?
Was that like streaming?
No, well, maybe for a while, but it was like right before streaming became like the main mode of watching TV and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like because with Netflix, you would make a list of DVDs and they would send it to you, and you could have 2 at a time. You'd send it back. With Blockbuster, you could do that, but you could also go and return one of their DVDs from Blockbuster Online same day for a DVD they had at the Blockbuster locations. And that was like, okay, Blockbuster Online wins. This rules. It's weird.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people kind of miss that ritual of going to a rental place to rent a movie. Do you?
The big thing for me growing up was going to Blockbuster to rent video games.
Yeah.
Like for my parents, if there's a movie we were interested in or they were interested in, they just go to the theater on a weekend,
Mm-hmm.
And if it was a movie that they really liked and they wanted to see again, they would just like buy the tape or buy the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know what it was with them, but they were just kind of like, no, like we've got money. All right, we can, if we want it, we'll buy it.
You guys weren't a Hollywood Video family, not a Blockbuster family, not an I Love Video family. You guys were a movie theater family.
Yeah, in that regard.
That's
but
cool.
like for me and Grant, like with video games, like so Blockbuster had like a monthly subscription, and you could rent a game basically for as long as you wanted for like, I think it was like $14 a month. And that's essentially how we were able to play like all the Grand Theft Auto games when I was still like 7 or 8, even
Nice.
though my mom was like, there's no way in hell I'm buying this for my kids. But because my dad signed up for the service, whenever they like typed up the account, it's like, oh yeah, like, is this for your dad? And my brother would just be like, yep, see you later.
He's a huge GTA head. That's what he is. He loves him.
I think my brother used to say like he would always lie to the Blockbuster guy, just being like, oh yeah, like he grew up on mob movies, so GTA is right up his alley.
He had levels to his lie.
Yeah,
Unnecessary levels to his lie.
he had lore for the lies.
He was coming up with a good backstory. He's like, I can't wait to tell this guy about your divorcee.
Yeah,
About the divorce that happened to that ex of yours. Just building storylines with him.
yeah. Every couple of weeks, we'd go down the street to Blockbuster and we'd just look at the games, see what they had. It was just, and I mean, we played a lot of shitty games too.
I remember the game that my brother and I rented from Blockbuster was for the N64, and it was the Tarzan game, where the first couple levels you're a kid, and then after that you get to kind of surf on the vines, and that's the cool thing, is surfing on the vines as adult Tarzan. You ever surfed, Robert?
I boogie boarded.
Gotta get awesome.
The
Awesome.
8-year-old version.
That's awesome.
The-
I'm a hardcore boogie boarder.
Yeah, I'm trying to go pro.
Are there professional? I'm googling that right now. Professional boogie boarders.
I'm sure there is. There's like professional skin boarders, body surfers.
Hawaii Bodyboarding Pro Tour. Looks like the
Ooh.
last video was 2016. Oh no, they have 20. The greatest bodyboard. Oh, it's bodyboarding. Yeah, I want to see boogie boarding. Oh, it looks like the bodyboarders are on boogie boards. Oh, it's Bodyboard, the company. Boogie board. Sandy Beach Challenge. Are there professional boogie boarders? Bodyboarding. Wow. Okay, so bodyboarding.
Oh, okay. So it's like boogie boarding is like putt-putt to miniature golf. You know?
Sure.
You see, when you go pro, you got to call it bodyboarding because boogie's just too childish, I guess.
Is it the same thing? I thought bodyboarders only use their body.
Well, I just typed in bodyboard on Google and like shop bodyboard. They all look
And there's
like
boogie boards.
Yeah, they all look like boogie boards to me.
Yeah. Okay, so are boogie boards actually called bodyboards like you're telling me right now?
Let's see.
Competitive bodyboard. Oh yeah, I'd like to find a couple of these people.
Dick's Sporting Goods has boogie boards and bodyboards.
I wouldn't risk putting Young Gravy in front of my wife. I don't like the way that guy charms women. There's just something, there's some raw sexuality to his presence that even I go, I'm a little, like, he juices me a little. He juices me a little. I'll be honest with you, it juices me a little.
Yeah.
Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. Not a single. I've been doing privates with jiu-jitsu on Sundays. So I'm on 6 days a week of jiu-jitsu now if I'm doing it right. Or actually, wow, 7 days a week most of the time. Isn't that wild?
So like you're paying for like private jiu-jitsu sessions?
I'm paying for a guy to try to make me better. Yeah.
Are you going to try and do another tournament?
Yeah, but it's in 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
It's on the 17th and 18th.
Do you need to borrow my tripod?
No, I don't need any footage of it.
No, I mean the last time's footage was pretty good.
Yeah, did you like that a lot?
Yeah, I mean you're a natural trash talker, man. You get on the mat and your mouth just starts running.
Oh yeah, I was born to just keep talking. The good Lord made me to chit chat. All right.
Yeah, that's why you're a telemarketer by day, stand-up comedian, and podcaster by night. You just don't stop.
I moonlight as a comedian and podcaster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Man, were you on Tumblr?
No.
I was on Tumblr. I was a big Tumblr boy. I loved that stuff. Very internet.
Very.
I just liked the internet so much, just for internet-y stuff. Never the deep dark side of the internet, very the surface level, like when dogs were called Doge online.
Oh yeah.
That's the internet I liked. I want the internet to be simple again, where like things are called epic, I like stuff like that. I want me to be thinking that, oh wow, it's an epic bacon t-shirt. And I like that. Give me that life. Let me live that life.
Go back to epic mealtime.
Yeah, it blew me away.
Or what about that period of like 2007 to like 2009 when people didn't know what to call memes? They're just like, oh, like let's look up those funny like text pictures.
Oh yeah, I make these funny Facebook photos.
Yeah. And it always had that like shitty like primary color pinwheel for the background.
Yeah, I miss the world that we lived in when like no one, I could say meme, and 90% of people over the age of 40 would have no clue what I meant by that, you know?
Yeah.
Saying meme, and people go, what are you talking about? It's, it's something shared, something that's like heavily shared on the internet. Even viral. Viral is something that older people used to go, viral? What? Viral? What is, what?
They're like, viral? Are you sick?
Yeah. Now
What
it's just how we're living.
What are these memes?
What are these memes?
Oh, and then following that, when we were able to be like, no, these are called memes, and like that's its own thing now, and we don't have to follow these shitty like templates and backgrounds. Like we can just make whatever. And then like ad companies started to try and get in on it, like with all those like shitty like Wendy's and like Quiznos ads.
Remember when like ads first became self-aware, like what I mean by that is like not ads, but like when like Taco Bell first was like, I like being rude to people on Twitter, and people were like, this is it. You know what I mean? Like the first time like the Taco Bell Twitter was like, I'm gonna dunk on you, nerd, and like that was like, oh dude, Taco Bell's going off. Taco Bell's going crazy. And now every single brand is on there being like, okay, Felicia, interacting with each other.
Yeah, it was like Taco Bell and Wendy's, and then like they would get together and have their string of beef, just kind of smack talk each other. Yeah, and then what was funny though is like a couple of years after like that had started, I was at this. I was volunteering for South by Southwest, and the social media guy for like the LA Kings hockey team. Someone asked him a question, just like, oh, like, how do you come up with like, how do you start beefs with other companies and like the other teams, and like, how do you like cultivate that Twitter persona? He's like, honestly, like half of it's just, how I would interact online. Like I'm just a big shit talker. Then he's like, also like, all that stuff, like it's usually coordinated between the like social media teams of the companies, just like, hey, we're going to throw a little jab at you, you throw a jab at us, and like we'll keep this going for maybe a month or so, and then like we'll roll out a new product or something at the end of it. And they're like, yeah, cool. And I was just like, oh my god, fucking wool pulled over me. I was just like, everything's a lie.
Was that too much of the how the sausage was made for you? Did you not care for seeing that one bit?
Yeah,
bring back the magic.
Well, I think a lot of people were just like, oh man, like they just stopped giving a fuck. Like they're just showing their colors, but then it's like, nope, still a lie.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's funny because I think a lot of people had that initial response being like, oh, dude, this guy at Taco Bell is going to be so much trouble. And it's like, no, obviously that went through a whole lot of meetings where someone looked over that and gave it the thumbs up for the XYZ reasons that they already went through,
Yeah.
But you and me, we're just genius warrior poets that see right through it.
Yeah, what's funny though is like even today, companies either have one or two sort of like social media policies or like checks and balances. It's either like you said, where the whole marketing team is like, signing off on it. It goes to the director and they're like, yeah, this post is good. Schedule it for this day and time. Then there's the other side where it's like they just don't give a fuck. Like they still see it as a fad, even though we're like, honestly, we're almost 20 years into like having social media be a thing. And they just kind of hawk it off to the intern like every semester. And so it's just so hot and cold and, riddled with spelling errors. And then, whenever they fuck up, the company's just like, oh yeah, we were hacked. That didn't come from us. Our account was hacked. It's like you wouldn't even know how to get hacked. Like you're so fucking clueless.
I love that. I love the idea that like people know so little about the internet and how that type of thing works that you can just be like, we were hacked. It's like, hang on, seems like you posted something.
Yeah.
Seems like you, and then regret it.
Or no, when especially like late 2000s, early 2010s, like in high school and shit, just like whenever someone was getting like bullied online or like some kid was getting shit talked on Facebook and their parents would try to butt in. So like I remember this one guy, like this one dad, he created a Twitter account because his daughter was like getting roasted and like people were like sending photos of her like making out with different guys at parties, basically just calling her a slut. And he made a Twitter account for the sole purpose to like basically try and like tweet back at them being like, what you're doing is illegal, like you did not have permission to take photos of my daughter at this party. It's like, and he literally used that line. He's like I've reported this to Twitter and the internet police.
Oh wait, are you talking about the cyber police guy?
No, so
the consequences will never be the same, that guy?
No, this dad wishes he could have been like that.
Oh, that guy was incredible.
He wishes his daughter had a webcam so he could do that. I remember that guy too, and that was great.
That was an incredible saga.
But this guy was like the poor man's like local version for me.
I'm pretty sure that guy had like good reason. I'm pretty sure like he was a child that was getting groomed by the blood on the dance floor guys, and then people were bullying that child online and having like pizzas ordered to their house by like the hundreds and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think she got doxxed.
Oh yeah, early days of the internet. Your consequences will never be the same. He goes, I've contacted the state police. I've contacted the cyber police. That was incredible.
Yeah,
man. I feel like, everything is like, that used to be like a special thing. You know what I mean? That internet video was like, yeah, dude, that people that are like online saw that. Now it's like, you got an office job. Your boss is like, hey, did you see the consequences will never be the same, guy? Hey, did you see Kanye West went full Nazi? Did you see that?
Yeah, he was sitting down with Alex Jones being like,
wow, yeah.
It's like, I see good things in Hitler. I was like, dude, just...
Wild, right? Really leaned in, farther than I ever expected.
Oh, he leaned so far in, he fell out of his fucking chair.
Such a bummer. I was shocked by that.
Here's my thing, though, with Kanye. Like, I was into his music up until the album after Graduation. I think it was like 808s and Heartbreaks.
Mm-hmm.
Like after that, I was like, I don't really care. Like I'm kind of tired of like trying to be cool and into this guy because my friends are. But like some of his earlier stuff, it's like, yeah, this was pretty good for the time. Like I can see like he really kind of shifted going from like crunk into like, like new Kanye West and like Drake. The more modern stuff. But yeah, I mean, even when he started doing like when he changed his name to like Yeezy or Yeezus, that's when I was like fully off the boat. I was just like, fuck this. Like, if you want to pay $80 for a plain white t-shirt at his fucking tour, like, go ahead.
I liked Kanye up until man, right until because I mean even the initial anti-Semitic stuff, I was like, all right, he's in an episode, he's looking around, and he goes, there's so many Jewish people in entertainment, he can't make sense of it because he has no good like framework of this world, and he goes, it's a conspiracy, and goes full rate. I go, oh, give him a day or two, right? And then I give him a day or two, he just leans into it, like, all right, that's a bummer. That is,
give him a week or two.
Give him a week, yeah. Even now, I'm like, he can come around still. I can admit, I know right now he's wrong, but he still has a chance to come around and be right, not be so straight up anti-Semitic. A wild amount of anti-Semitic. Not even like a thin line, gray area type of thing,
Honestly, at this point, he would need to donate at least like half of his like remaining like money and like net worth to like basically just like Jewish programs across the country, and then also publicly state Free Palestine.
Wow, dude,
that's the boat I'm in.
You think he would need to give half of his money to like a Holocaust museum, and then do the Free Palestine route too?
Yeah. Just because it's like, first off, you're saying a lot of anti-Semitic stuff, but it's also like a lot of like it, like, what he's saying is really insightful. So for him to so he needs to say free Palestine because he needs to also say, I don't stand with Jewish people that, want to bomb Palestinians and have very fucked up points of views.
He only likes even then, it's like, man, he only likes the cool ones. Come on. I don't know. When he said that, like, when he was like, Hitler dressed cool, I was like, okay, let's give him that. If you just stop talking right there and say, fuck the guy, he said Hitler dressed cool. I was like, all right, yes. Great.
Hey,
and then he goes, and he's a good architect. I was like, stop listing things about Hitler. Please, for the love of God, you can say the dress cool thing if you move on. Then, yeah, it can be like, all right, dude, was it Hugo Boss that designed that?
Yeah, I think it was like Hugo Boss, and then I think Puma, like the shoe company. Yeah, I think it was Puma. They like, I don't think they made the boots, but they made like shoes for like Nazi youth or something. Then, like Mercedes-Benz and Volkswagen, it's like car of the people. Like that was another like Third Reich, little invention. Little
Volkswagen? Okay, so we can admit those ones, but you don't go list them, right? You can't list them all in a row like that. You have to say one. You have to say one off. You can be like highways, but mostly like making it really hard. They burned all that medical science for like trans science stuff, right? Then you name something. You can't just list good things in a row. Can't do, even if they're all real things like Volkswagen. You can't do it. I don't like it. No one likes it.
I think the only good thing I could really say is that it's really the stuff that like all those inventions that we got out of like World War II and like fighting the war. It's like, you could say the genesis was Hitler and his thirst for world domination. But it's just like there's just so many like degrees of separation from that. It's still like, no, Hitler didn't really do anything good.
Yeah. I think I could love him.
Also red, white, and black, like that's one of the most common color schemes. Like Coca-Cola, the Nazis, fucking Texas Tech. Like anyone could have come up with that color scheme. Even the Republican Party, the Communist Party. Well, they did a little red and yellow.
Red and yellow? Oh, it's black and yellow. Never mind. That's like modern,
Yeah. The Red Party up in Russia, they're like, we're going to tweak it just a little bit.
But what do you think best political party that's ever been? What's your favorite one? Number one of all time?
I don't know. That's just like picking out your favorite shit you've taken over the years. For me,
I like the rent is too damn high party. Remember that guy in New York that would just say the rent is too damn high? That guy, I go, that's nice.
It wasn't McCain, but he just recently died over due to COVID. But he had the like he was running back in like 2012 and for the Republican Party, and he was like, I have the 999 like tax program. Everyone was like, hey, like where'd you get those numbers from? Like, how's this really gonna work? And he was just like 999. I think it was like Herb McCain or something.
I don't get it. Oh, like 9, like no, like German no.
No, it's just like, oh, this tax rate will be 9, this one will be 9, and this one will be 9. And everyone's like, so you're proposing a flat tax rate? And he's like, no. But it's like he didn't even really know what he was trying to propose.
I mean, I like the flat tax rate. That sounds good, right?
Yeah.
9 sounds pretty wild.
Then I don't know. Maybe it's because I didn't live during it that I think it's pretty cool. But like FDR's like, 3-term reign. I bet that was like a wild time to be alive.
Maybe there's people that thought he'd be king forever.
I mean, honestly, if he hadn't died and gotten all sickly and shit, like he would have definitely tried to just keep it going as long as he could.
I would too.
Because he came from like basically American nobility, being a fucking Roosevelt and being, I think he had like Rockefeller blood in him too. Got 3 terms, got his cabinet full of all the guys, he could either control or trust. And then after he couldn't trust them anymore, got people he could control.
That's how we do it.
New Deal. We got some dams built. He was like, "Hey, he was the original guy that's like, hey, we got to spend money to make money, guys." He's like, "Let's just put up a bunch of fucking programs, get people working."
Here's my problem: is I think that very few presidents could whoop me, and it's like I think that the Teddy Roosevelt, he was into like boxing and judo and stuff. He could probably whoop me. And then like Obama at peak health, he could probably whoop me. He was an athlete. He like did like a lot of sports in his life.
Yeah.
Talks about that a lot. But he's like the most recent sporty president. Like Clinton didn't sporty. He was music guy. None of the Bushes were sporty.
No.
Mm-mm.
I think the most the Bushes did was just like duck hunt, maybe turkey hunt.
More of a sportsman than I am, tell you that much. That's why we call Louisiana a sportsman's paradise. Do you know that?
Yeah.
How'd you know that? License plates?
Yeah, license plates, and then just, you've watched a few episodes of Swamp People. You kind of know it's like that's the thing to do down there, and they have because it's like in Louisiana, like to hunt alligators, they allow you to like set those traps, and basically it's like, yeah, we just set them like, on a Wednesday, and then Thursday morning we come back around and like we'll pull up the gators and shoot them, and like Texas, they don't let you do that. I don't think they let you do that in Florida either. You have to catch them live in the moment.
They won't let a man kill a gator in Texas. That's not the Texas I know.
No, they will. It's just
God's given us the right to kill those gators.
it's the method. It's like the method of hunting they're using. Like you can't like lay overnight traps.
You want to know my new thing right now, Robert?
What?
Is I've been applying to be a vendor at like every opportunity I get. Guess what the business I submit is?
Is it that free pizza for homeschool children thing you're doing?
No, it's Big Jeff's kissing booth.
Yeah.
I've been rejected from every event so far, but I would love to set up a kissing booth and just put $100 kisses, $1,000 premium kisses, and just see what I can get. And just, hey, because hey, if I sell one kiss that weekend, I'm doing pretty good, right?
It's like $1 peck, $25 like passionate, $100.
Fuck my butt.
No, the $100, it's just in parentheses like with tongue.
You can fuck my butt. Yeah, I'm telling you, $100. You can do it to me all the way through.
Tongue kiss
No
my
questions
booty hole.
asked. Just as the good Lord wanted, do it to me.
Are they just giving you generic like, hey, thanks for applying, but we're not interested? Or
Yeah, all the vendor spots are full. Thanks for applying. Most recent one I did was the SOS, the new like Margin Walker
yeah,
resound events one.
yeah.
I said no. Okay, fine, no, whatever. Guess what? I'll be doing it on my own. I'll be doing my kiss thing with or without you.
Just set up in like at the corner of the parking lot as people turn in.
Outlaw kisses.
Yeah. Just call it Texas outlaw kissing.
Doing some Texas outlaw kissing.
Yeah.
Hey, they tried to make kissing. If you're gonna make kissing a crime, call me an outlaw, baby. That's what I've always said. Catch me in the wild, wild. Billy the Kissing Kid's what they call me. A peck or two will do. That's just what they've called me.
It's like someone takes you up on it. It's like, yeah, I got a beard hair in my mouth. And you're like, that's extra.
Yeah. Take me to
Extra.
court.
Yeah.
I remember when I worked at Starbucks, someone complained that my beard was going to get in their latte. And I just remember thinking, like, that's not going to happen. But then because of that, I had to give reports to my manager about how often I brush my beard. So he would very often ask, did you brush your beard today? Yes, I did. Humiliating question, I did.
So fucking stupid.
Well, you know what they say.
What do they say? Did you brush
There's
your
no-
beard today?
You should brush your beard today. Did you brush your beard or not? You know what they say. Did you brush it? Because you should have brushed it.
Oh, speaking of Starbucks and shitty jobs,
Mhm.
I got a new story for you that, granted, this is secondhand. I heard it from a Waffle House employee.
Hit me.
So apparently a few weeks ago, the Waffle House up the street from my apartment, they had done like a lot. They've been having a lot of turnover, and I overheard two of the employees while I was there waiting on a to-go order talking about this guy Chris and Paul. And one of them was like, "Oh, what happened to Chris and Paul? Like, did they get swept up in the new management change, just cleaning house?" And the other girl who was the cook was just like, "Oh no, like you didn't hear what happened?" She's like, "No, tell me." So the story goes that two weekends ago, Chris and Paul were working the graveyard shift on like a Sunday night at this Waffle House. For anyone who's never been to a Waffle House, these places are 24/7, and there's this whole index that people use, including the government, on like how bad a natural disaster is, dependent on if the Waffle House is open or not in the affected area.
That's true.
So like they're kind of like ride or die. We're going to be open one way or another. Anyways, 2 a.m. graveyard shift. No one's really there because it's like the suburbs of Nashville. Everyone's getting, they're asleep to go to work tomorrow or later in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Paul was just like, you know what? No one's here. Like, it's Sunday night. I don't think anyone's going to come in here. He's like, why don't we just go back to my place down the street and smoke a little weed?
You dog. That's so tight.
like apparently he was just like, you know what? I live down the street. Like, Chris, why don't you roll with me real quick? We'll hit the bowl. Maybe rip the bong. I don't know what they had, but there's
something cool.
Yeah, just they're just like, yeah, let's go back to my place real quick. Take a quick hit, and we'll be back here in no time. Apparently, they were gone for like 30, 45 minutes, and when they got back, homeless people came into the shop and started serving themselves like coffee and soda. Because
also awesome.
Because apparently guys who work at Waffle House that need to go smoke some weed, they don't lock up behind themselves.
Why would you? You're leaving on good faith.
Yeah. The manager did not tell them they had a good faith policy. They're like, no, you lock that shit up at least.
I would operate on a good faith policy because I'm not a scumbag.
Yeah. So anyways, when they get back, a little buzzed, they see the homeless people in there like, what the fuck are you doing in here? Like, get out. Like, no, you cannot take the mug with you. And just then it's like the next day, the manager is like reviewing the tapes, this is where I'm kind of like, okay, like, does this manager like at the, like every morning he comes in and like reviews like last night's tape?
He had to have had some sort of like, hey, I wonder if homeless people came in here and served themselves last night. There had to have been some sort of vibe for him that was like, hey, something feels like homeless people came in and just served themselves coffee.
Yeah, there must have been something where like they didn't clean up right. And so it was like, hey, why is this all disheveled? Or maybe they were bragging to like another coworker and they tattled on him. But either way, like, apparently Monday morning, like the manager rewatched the tape and saw it when they came in at like 2:30, and he's like, oh hell no, like fuck that. Calls up Chris, calls up Paul, and was like, is this true? And they're like, oh no, like we locked up. And it's like, oh, he's like, I didn't see any resistance to opening the door. They just pushed it open like it was left unlocked. And and they just got fired the next day.
Man, I like that it was that they didn't lock up. That was the real concern there. But honestly, that is like bare minimum, and they didn't do it. They couldn't even handle just locking the doors to go get high. And honestly, mad respect for it. Right on. You said, not our Waffle House, not my problem. And she said, baby, I don't buy the waffles here. What do? I smoke weed here. That's my job, man. I remember when I worked at Juiceland, I would smoke weed, but like just in the back room where the smoothies are made, like by the blenders. And whenever someone would be like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that," I'd be like, "Oh, okay." Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna like fix it? What are you gonna like talk to management about this? About, all right, this guy's smoking weed. We're making smoothies. Manager would be like, "Yeah, makes sense, dude. He works at Juiceland. He doesn't give a shit. Oh, he doesn't give any type of shit what he's doing." I would quit Juiceland all the time, and they just wouldn't fire me. They'd just be like, all right, just work another week or two, and you can be off the schedule. And I would just keep working. I remember I had no call, no show, and they would just let me live on the schedule. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke weed by the blenders, buddy.
Was it just like I'm assuming because it's such high turnover, they're like he's gonna come back sooner or later, like he's done this before.
Yeah, that's the thing is like it's cheaper to just have a bad employee than it is to fire someone and train them new. Especially because of how many people don't stick around after they've
left.
I think like you get a job there and most people are like, yeah, I'm out. Never mind. Fuck this shit for real.
I wonder how many of those scabs are still there at Juiceland.
Probably more than the people that went on strike. That was the worst strike ever. We love them. Glad you tried your hardest. You guys really just did nothing. I think it's because a weirdo contingent got involved and they all kind of backed away from there.
Yeah. Also, especially after the stories you told me about, like the owner and like the upper management, it's like, yeah, of course they're gonna do everything they can, and like they're not gonna even respect the strike. They're just gonna make that one post being like, hey, we hear you, we understand you, and we're gonna work towards a better workplace. So we're hiring all new people that share our same ideals of capitalism, and minimum wage. Obama said, okay, $7.25. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, they said, listen, what you're saying is valid. You are heard. Okay, that is what you're saying right now is valid. You are heard. We hear you. We are listening, and you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do the work, and we're gonna do what we've always done and take care of our employees and our family here. Okay, we're gonna do the work. That's what we're gonna do. The work, and we're gonna fire all of you. Over a period of time, we're going to fire every single one of you. Sooner or later, none of you will work here. And thank you for bringing this to our attention. We thought you were a little more obedient.
Like, hey, message sent and received. Oh, man. Yeah, but it's a fucking smoothie stand, And like, I think that shit is like that was kind of like a notch in the belt of like reasons why I need to kind of like get out of Austin. Because it was just like no one was like even after I had told people who were like ride or die Juiceland people, but they were also like very like progressive and like no, like everyone has like a right to like a living wage. And I was like, hey, did you hear about the Juiceland strike? They're like, oh no, what? And like I told them the whole story and like shared the episode with them, and they're just like, next week I see them and they're like, sorry I'm late, I had to stop by Juiceland and get my fix. I'm just like, fuck you.
Yeah, after their strike pitter-pattered out, I was like, how long do I wait before I can go and start like using it again? Like getting Juiceland again.
What's the grace period for?
Yeah. Because when they first were like, we're striking, I was like, all right, I'm in. And they were like, hey, we're not really doing. And I was like, okay, well.
We're not doing so hot.
What do I do? How long do I? If you guys aren't going to do it, I don't want to be the only one striking or something.
Well, it was easy for me because like I think I had ever only gone to Juiceland once in my life before it. And when they're like, hey, we're striking, I was like, cool. Just more reason for me not to go. I love it. Thundercloud subs made better smoothies,
You think Thundercloud Club make better smoothies?
Oh yeah.
No, Thundercloud Clubs. You think Thundercloud Club making better smoothies?
I know they're making better smoothies. You know why?
Why?
When I say let me get a strawberry banana smoothie, that's what they give me. There's no acai berries. There's no protein powders. It's just like, yeah, you want a basic ass smoothie because you're fucking normie when it comes to this juice and fruit shit. I was like, yeah, hell yeah. It's like,
I'll be honest. That's an option at Juiceland too. You can get exactly what you said, a strawberry banana. You can go in there and they'd be like, oh, a strawberry banana smoothie, easy.
When I went to the one in the Frost Tower.
Did you use like a slur or something? You went to the one in the Frost Tower. You went to home base, baby. You went to ground zero.
Yeah, I tried to go to ground zero, I was like looking at the menu, and I was like, "Hey, like, can I get like a strawberry banana smoothie?" And like, "Oh, would you like it with the acai berries?" And I was just like, "No." Like
They looked at you. They looked at you and they said, "This guy's the type that needs some acai, huh?"
they probably saw me walking in, like kind of like doing that look where it's like, "Oh, it's like, am I in the right spot? I've never been here." And they just went. They're like, "Pigeon, let's upsell this bitch."
Pigeon. They said Rube.
Yeah. Because they're trying to throw like all the fucking additives at me. And I was like, you know what? I'll just turn around and I'll just go to the fucking grocery store myself.
Well, what matters is, can I tell you what matters?
Yeah.
You gave it your all. You went in there and you said, you know what I'm gonna be? I'm gonna be a good smoothie boy. And they said, no, you're gonna be an acai boy. And you said, no, I am a good boy. And they said, no, not you, Robert. You're gonna be a bad boy. Isn't that right? They made you get on all fours and bark for him, didn't they?
Bark for the acai?
Yeah, absolutely bark for him.
No, I can just to fuck with you, you're going to throw a little bok choy in there.
Hey, been there 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Bok choy and what's that, durian?
Yeah, durian.
It's all bok choy and durian. I like how they have that fruit, that juice land that isn't even allowed in some Asian hotels because it's so stinky.
Oh yeah, that is the durian. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Real nice. Oh yeah. Looking up some photos of the durian.
I have been scrolling through Tumblrs that are like old Soviet Tumblrs that I followed many years ago. I'm trying to figure out how, when I first started, I was like, how do I delete my old Tumblr account from when I was in my teens? And I don't really know how to without like signing in and stuff.
Do they have that shitty policy like Facebook where they're like, oh, you never delete your account, you just like deactivate it?
It's something. It's like, I don't know. I honestly think it'll just be on there forever until the day I die.
Yeah.
As some sort of living memorial to memes I liked in my youth.
So Soviet.
Also, I have like 1,000 emails. Why do I have so many? Who's emailing me?
I don't know, man. It's all those websites you signed up for their newsletters.
Yeah, I do like newsletters. I have one from Sticker Mule that just says magnets. I have 3 emails from Sticker Mule this week. I probably just unsubscribe. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but like the only time I'm like really using my email address, like my personal email, is when like I'm trying to look for a job.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Other than that, even though I still check it every day, you know, I'll refresh it on my phone, just like it's just newsletters.
Almost nothing. Yeah, really. And when I do get an email, I'll usually miss it by like over a week because I'm like, oh, I didn't check my email. What's funny is I'm in sales, right? And so people will tell me, ugh, I get so many emails from you guys. And I'll go, oh, you know, there's a button that says unsubscribe. And if you click it, you actually get unsubscribed from those emails. It's pretty simple. I can show you how if you want to jump. People don't like that.
Why? Because they think they're going to trick you?
I think they're just trying to start, explain to me that they don't like me already. And I go, you don't have to. What joke I make on the phones? I say, hey, you don't like me. Only my wife likes me, and even she's on thin ice. That's what I say. I'm on thin ice with that, right? Because sometimes that gets a laugh, other times it does not.
They just straight up hang up.
They do. Man, I'm tired, brother. I'll get footage of this next karate tournament, though, I promise.
You better.
I won't use a tripod, but I'll have someone film it. I like that the only footage I have is of me losing really badly in my first round.
But then you got the photo of you holding like all your medals.
Yeah. I entered more divisions this year, so hopefully I'll get more medals.
More like second place medals out of 3 people.
Second place out of 3 is still second. Especially if you do it twice.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Fucking nice.
Ooh. I was actually gonna go to hot yoga at 3, and then I remembered we're doing this at 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The podcast got in your way of hot yoga.
No, the hot yoga was about to get in the way of the podcast, but we prioritized real quick.
Yeah. Is it like the Christian hot yoga in Tulsa?
No, we found out where the sinners are stretching.
It's like some good old sinful hot stretching.
Oh yeah. It's right by our house. It's like $59 a month for unlimited hot yoga.
What temperature are they keeping it in there?
Oh, it's hot. I haven't asked. I don't want to get down there.
They have a don't ask, don't tell policy on the temp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's weird is I did have to give a little kiss on the lips to the guy at the front desk. I don't know what that was about. But again, I did not ask.
And he did not tell.
I wouldn't tell.
You know, earlier this week we got a new coworker in my my neck of the office, and he's been really pissing us off. Me and the
What
other.
did he do?
Well, first off, what'd you just do?
I sent you a video, but I want to know what this guy did.
He's just really annoying. You know, just he'll randomly do British accents for no reason, and randomly does British accents, and he's always he's always asking us dumb questions, and every time like we're trying to talk to each other, like me and Taylor or like Becca to Tristan, like he always has to interject something and like throw his 2 cents in. And we're like, dude, like this has nothing to do with you, like butt the fuck out. But what really got my goat with him was he mentioned, he's like, oh yeah, he's like, I would love to start a podcast and just tell people my thoughts and feelings. And he's like that would be easy. And I let out the biggest groan inside. I was like, oh my god, it's like you don't know. Me and JT doing this podcast, we're doing a podcast, and you know what? We're dying for your sins every fucking week.
He has no idea how hard it is to be a warrior poet. He just sits there in the comfort of this. He's what we call an armchair podcaster. That's what that guy's called. He's never been in the trenches like guys like us. Guys, what, 67, 68 episodes deep? You fucking kidding me?
You fucking filthy casuals trying to be like, oh yeah, let's just start up a podcast. It'll be great. It's like,
I've been saying for a while, we need to be like a protected group. Podcasters are.
Yeah.
We need to be like, we need some civil rights.
Oh, okay. So we need to be like a recognized group of people.
We need to be a recognized group. Yeah.
I was gonna say we need to be on like an endangered species list or something.
Oh, real ass podcast. Yeah, we're some of the last in the game of the real ass podcasters. A lot of these fake ass. I want special parking. I want parking closer to the door in case I see something that I know someone's gonna want me to share my thoughts on.
Yeah.
Like if I'm at a grocery store, I should be able to quickly get to my car, quick with a big access to like a big door.
Dude, I had that fucking problem last weekend trying to see Brian. I need that placard. Handicapped for podcasting. It's the guy, instead of a wheelchair, it's just a normal chair, and you see like a little microphone next to his little circle head. That's the placard I want.
Yeah, it's instead of a press pad, you have the placard.
Yeah.
Actually, be like, whoa, sorry, yeah, don't mess with him. Did you watch that video I sent off?
Spirit Unity? Here, give me a sec.
Someone I telemarketed.
It's got some... Here, let me skip the ad. Kids asking what love is. You got this guy that kind of looks like God, he just looks like every like old man you know with long hair.
Maybe every old rocker I know with long hair.
Yeah. He's kind of got the he's got the like Ozzy Osbourne like little spectacles, but he's like wearing like an athleisure t-shirt.
It's not a crime to relax.
Do you think
he even sneaks in and at the beginning of the song, thinking we won't notice?
Do you think he took this trip to New York City just to like make this video?
Yeah, he told me he did.
Really?
Yeah, he lives in San Francisco.
Okay. What, West Coast wasn't good enough for him?
I just think it didn't fit with his vision. He's an artist. He's not like us. He's not like podcasters. You know, hey, you and I are dogs and practically rats. He's an artist.
This doesn't tell me how many views it has.
21,000 views.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
But I think, you know, some of those might be
1 year ago.
fake.
21,500. He's got 111 subscribers.
And 50 comments. Sort by newest. Oh, hell yeah. I'm so in. Simply amazing. I agree with you. All 50 of these comments, one just says Jesus. And the reply is, hi, David. Thank you for the Jesus. I'm not worthy to clean his feet, but thank you anyways. I'm looking for some negative comments. It does not have any.
His other video, Believe, is tanking.
Oh, no.
474 views for Believe. Released a year ago as well. Right now he's going at a 50.5.
I think sometimes for a rocker, it's not about the views. Oh, I didn't notice the part of this where he just hugs a black couple. Starts out and it's a white guy and he looks at a little black boy and the black boy goes, Papa, do people know love? And then halfway through the video, he's walking on a beach singing.
Then he's on a rooftop in New York City.
And he gets hugged.
Subway. He hugs a black person. Show he's not racist. Again,
we're pro hugging black people. I don't want anyone to listen to this and think, what? JT and Robert don't think you should hug black people. You should, okay? You don't go out of your way to for a video, but
I just feel like if you got it, like if you're so compelled to put that into your like music video or really any form of like media to be like, no, like look at us, like, you know, unity, biracial, you know, we're all one. It's kind of like, I think you're secretly racist.
Yeah, I never woke up and thought, God, I got to get a shot of me hugging a black person today.
That's got to be my next special.
I got to get me one. Got to get me a video of that.
After every bit.
Man. Robert, I'm gonna do the 4 p.m. yoga class. So I'm gonna go get fucking ripped.
All right. Take your fucking tripod there. Get video. Get that footy. We're like skaters in the early 2000s. We got to get that footy at all.
We got to get that footy out there.
Yeah. Get some footy.
If I get that footy out there, that's going to make a difference for us.
Yeah. Have Jensen hold the camera.
You're not going to do this class. You'll be watching me.
Get the footy.
Get the footy.
Learn how to use Adobe Premiere.
Can we link to this video in the comments or in the description?
Yes.
All right. Everyone's got to check out this video.
Yes. Oh man, yeah. I'll definitely link it down below. Do some old man.
Hell yeah, Playboy.
All right. Till next time.
Later.
Swerve, the rims is glistening. They got see the wood cause the top is missing. I sleep on dreams cause it's paper I'm chasing. My roots come from Texas, this inflation. On the side, 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 on the side.